Welcome to episode 10 of Live from Subterranea. I am the mighty Grindolph, and I have come to present to you Buffalo, New York's Anthropic. And now, bear witness.
our song. Cool? Six. So
I'm here with Anthropic that just played a killer set, and just want to say thank you for coming to play.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having us, man. Definitely.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Subterranea! Fuck
great.
yeah, dude. This place is awesome.
So maybe if you guys wanted to say who you are and what you do.
I'm Chris. I'm vocals.
Matt, guitar player.
Jim, drums.
Russ, bass.
Alright. So yeah, how long has this band been around? Like, what's the origins?
Oh boy.
Good, Jim.
It's been around 5 years or so. Brian started, he unfortunately passed away a few months ago. And he couldn't really get the right members, and he was trying to jam with the drummer for Rochevore, and he actually would drive to Pittsburgh once a month to practice our, well, I think there's only one song that they played.
Mm-hmm.
So then it kind of didn't work out, and the driving and all that just wasn't ideal. So he was about to say, forget it, this isn't going to work. So I was in bands back in the day in Buffalo, and I was married and wasn't in bands and had kids and all that crap. So now the marriage was done, and he had gotten word that I was ready to jam again. So he was like, hey, you want to give it a whirl? So him and I met up. I knew him from back in the 90s, obviously, so it was just kind of like, this is kind of what I want to do. I think I can do it. I'm rusty. I haven't played in a while. So we decided to do it. He sent me a couple, the tunes that they had. And we got up once. I put beats to it, and it changed it immediately. But it was the mix that he was looking for,
Mm-hmm.
His riffs with my drumming. And then we had another guitarist who's no longer with us. He's alive, he's just not in the band. We had another singer, but you came down first, right? Before Derek?
No, he was actually going first. Yeah, Brian came up to me at a show and handed me a CD. Like, I'm a hardcore dude, and I'm not, like, I listen to some metal, grindcore, or whatever, but I'm like pretty much like came up.
We were discussing
the Buffalo hardcore scene. Used to go to Syracuse, see all the shows like we were talking earlier, And I didn't know Brian, like I didn't know his name, like he knew me like from seeing it at shows and stuff from like back in the day. Like I was saying, I lived in Florida for like almost 15 years or whatever. So after I moved back in like 2006, I started going to hardcore shows, more metal shows. Honestly, used to go to the Rockin' Buffalo, and it was right around the corner from my house or whatever. So I'd seen him at a bunch of shows there, and then he came up to me at this hardcore show and handed me a CD. He's like, "Hey, you want to sing for my band?" I'm like, "What? Like what?" And he's like, "Well, check it out and let me know if you're interested or whatever." And I went home and I put the CD in, and it was like, was it 5 or 6 songs or something like that?
Yeah.
And I was just like listening to the CD, and I was like, that was 5 songs. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, but I'd always wanted to be in a band or whatever, so I was like, fuck it, give it a try, you know what I mean? Give it a shot, and there we are.
So then Chris had
4 years later.
personal shit going on with your family.
Yeah,
so he was out of the picture, and we had another singer, and we had another bass player as well, but he is a medical guy. And I think he's a nurse.
Andy.
He's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked at the VA, and he wanted to become an anesthesiologist. So there's no way he could be in a band and tour and whatever and become an anesthesiologist. So he's just like, guys, I'm done. So we're like, okay, we want to have a bass player, whatever. So we did it was like a showcase, like, hey, we're Anthropic, check us out. And the singer we had, we didn't know he had asthma.
Oh.
So, yeah, he got through like a song or two and couldn't breathe. Like, I'm surprised he didn't just fall over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, what? Anyway, so great dude. He's a cool dude. He still messages me. That didn't work out. In the meantime, Chris is ready to go.
Yeah.
And then,
So I came in, and then brother like, okay, we got a show in, well, the first show was about like Brooklyn. Our first show's in Brooklyn in
It was like a month.
like 6 weeks or
Yeah,
something
it was
like that.
short.
So I had to write like lyrics and memorize all the songs and all that time. We ended up getting a local show ended up popping up before that, so we ended up getting one practice run before Brooklyn, but then it was the second one was Brooklyn. That was a fun time. It was say we weren't really exactly.
So we did 3
tight,
shows,
so.
and then I needed off, and then Chris's sister's boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Works with Russ, and they're like, yo, right?
Yeah, Todd.
Todd. Yeah,
So,
Todd.
and we
We're
knew
looking
Russ.
for a bass player, and then my sister's like, "Oh, Todd's his friend Russ," and I'm like, I remember texting them, like, "You guys know Russ Martin?" They all laughed at me, like, "Really, dude? Yeah,
Of course we do.
yeah, of course we know Russ." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, okay," because I don't know. But after I knew, I was like, "Oh, Grotesque Infection." I remember fucking seeing. Yeah.
So Russ was in one of the first grindcore bands in Buffalo too. So Brian and I knew him, and then Russ was in, and then that's when that other guitar player, we parted ways at that point. Then that was the 4 of us. That was when we really
That's when
that
shit started
incantation
rolling.
is probably 3 years, and then Brian passed, and now Matt, who we've known forever as well, just it was kind of like, hey, who do we know? You know, who do we want to bring? You know,
Who do we want and who can do it?
Yeah.
And then
And Russ and I had already played together in a band called Organism with Justin Hiltz and Lamont Bell.
Okay.
And we had a singer too, but he was only for the first 2 shows.
And we've known Matt has come to pretty much every Anthropic show, every local
As
show.
soon as Russ got in the
gone to
band, I was pretty much at
Rochester.
every show, and I really grew to like these guys. So
yeah,
you know,
so it's like we know
it was
him.
just
and,
Anthropic's playing. All right, I'll see you guys there. You know.
so, and, who can play it, and somebody that's gonna be like
Someone who's cool.
someone that we know that it's not gonna be like everything's great, and then gets in the band
And tries
like,
to change everything.
and this guy's a
Yeah.
fucking nutcase. Matt's a nutcase, but.
In a good way.
But
Yeah.
we know him, so and he's all good. So
Right.
we're all fucking.
Well, I
nutcases.
came in-
We're all fucking.
I came in
nutcases.
with the
What are you
intention
talking
to
about?
do what Brian set out to do, not to change anything. You know, play it how he meant it to be played. They kind of busted on me a little bit because I was just needling the hell out of the songs. Like, no, it's not quite right yet. You know what I mean? Doing something else. I can hear it. I just can't figure it out. But it all kind of came together, man. I haven't been on a stage since probably Organism. Been in a couple bands, but they never really got off the ground. And then they called me up, and he was like, you were our first choice, and I'm like, well, shit, let's do it. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here we
Sounded
are.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
He's learned in how long has it been? A month,
like
month and a
January
half.
1st was his
Couple-
first practice.
Something like
that. The
yeah,
second-
first or second week, something.
Whatever
like
the
that.
first Tuesday of January was.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, he's learned
That's quick.
whatever. How many ever?
It's
I
like
mean,
19 songs.
19
songs
songs total, I
or
think I
whatever.
got so far.
So yeah, and we've already started
got
working
40
on
more to go, and you're
Yeah,
good to go, man. Gotta love the grindcore, man. Fuck.
There's a whole album waiting to be recorded because Brian just did nothing but write music, man. He was
Yeah, Brian is the riff machine, man.
So we got 19 songs for the next album that are actually the one we played last is we've never played it live. This was it.
Ready, Riff?
So
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
still got a bit of work yet, but
Yeah. I was gonna ask about like future recordings. Like,
yeah.
what's
So
the
that
It's in the works.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Brian is a riff machine, man. He like, Brian worked right down the street from Jim, so we practiced every Tuesday, and then it was
And we practice where I work.
yeah, and he practiced where we work. So when Brian would get there, we practice at 5. Brian would get there at like 4-ish. And I'd get there at 5 and like, dude, we got 3 new songs. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Check this out. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are fucking crazy. Brian's like, I got this riff and that riff and this and that and da. So that's awesome, man. That's crazy. Brian is a definitely riff animal.
Well, you guys have to have over 50 songs, right? Or about that.
I think there's 60 songs.
60 songs,
in its
yeah.
entirety.
Yeah.
So when actually the set we played today, I planned it on purpose. The very first song we played was the first song that Brian ever wrote, and the last song we played was the last song Brian
That
ever
was
wrote.
the first
So
song I ever wrote lyrics
that's
to, and first song I ever did too. So that was like that was the many first of Anthropic for sure.
Yeah.
So that was
So it was
Yeah.
I did
That's
that on
really cool.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, Brian was very thorough,
Oh yeah.
and he has tabs and everything
Recordings.
for all the songs.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. We can
So it's all documented. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a few of them or all of them technically, and so it's just a matter of Chris finishing up lyrics and he learning the guitars.
Russ already knew.
Russ knows the majority of the
10 of the
material. He's got
songs,
some
I think.
relearning to do. You know.
Already had bass down, so.
Yeah.
And we have the
There's
full
so far,
support of
so-
Brian's family, which is
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
wanted
that's great.
definitely for us to carry on with it
Uh-huh.
because it was Brian's baby. It was his dream to be on stage and play music, and
Mhm.
that's what he wanted to do. And they were like, "If you guys, you know, we totally support you if you guys want to continue it on."
Yeah, I mean, it keeps that music out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah, man.
you know.
Yeah, he fucking
Brian's legacy will
Yeah.
live on, man.
Absolutely.
Brian knew a lot of people. Brian did a lot of stuff. He was kind of like, yeah, he's
He's the guy.
definitely an introvert. So like,
Yeah.
oh, what's up, Jim? Let's get into music. And he wanted to talk to you about music. And he, but then he was like, because he even said, I'm like, why the fuck did you wait so long to start playing? And then he did like a couple of cover bands or whatever. And he's like, I didn't think I could do it or I could get up on stage and whatever. And then he did a couple of those cover band shows. And,
That was it.
You know, and then that's
Damn
when
it,
he.
I should've kept it
That's when
going.
he's like,
Once
that's
you
when he
do it,
started.
you're
It's like,
like, okay.
so I joke, dude. It's like, dude, we're fucking playing like Weekend Warriors and we're doing tours. I'm like, man, I was like, this shit we should have been doing 20 years ago, man. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, better late than never,
Yeah,
dude. Whatever.
no doubt.
You know, it's
Ready when it's ready.
Yeah, like COVID.
And he was always like a pivotal part of the scene too, man. He was, you know, I mean, he did tons of, you know, benefit shows for people, arranged them, you know what I mean, arranged a bunch of regular shows. I mean, he was the type of guy that would just give you the shirt off of his back, you know what I mean?
He was
real
very
tough.
selfless.
Yeah, very selfless, definitely.
Definitely.
That made it even easier for my decision too, just because I knew what kind of person he was just over the past few years from hanging out with these guys.
Right.
So,
Well, after everything that he did for everybody, all the connections he made, the outpouring of love, you know, for him after he died. I mean, it was just
Yeah,
it was
it's
heartbreaking,
unbelievable.
Crazy,
you know,
man.
just- it was
Yeah.
just, man.
People all over the world just like, yeah, like, yeah, just
yeah,
all over the
he
world.
was definitely known, man, because he got into a lot of projects that were really good in, you know, furthering the scene and getting it out there, making it that much less underground, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I saw like, cause when you posted about it, and there were a lot of people replying, and then I didn't realize like how many people I know, like from down here and like whatnot,
Oh yeah.
know who he is.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like I was like,
Oh, yeah. Well, he wrote the book, The Glorious Times,
wow. Okay.
and I've heard, I don't know, that the first edition, like on eBay, goes for like $100.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've since
I
Frico's
think I
printing.
bought both.
Yeah, Frico's printing just did a reprint before he died.
Second
They
edition of it.
they,
Yeah, I
they
bought the second
received them in the
edition.
mail like the day after he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, so like he knew they were reprinting them. So there is a second edition, and I heard from Brian's brother that they might be doing another printing, Frico's printing. But you know,
It's a
we
cool
got-
book, man. It's pretty much
Yeah.
like, you know, the rise of the scene in Buffalo in the, you know, late 80s or mid 80s to early 90s. It's super cool, man. There's just tons of bands in there. And
Bands like telling crazy road stories and shit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
pictures, shit
Good
people
read.
never heard
Definitely a
of.
good read.
You know, shit stories people never heard and shit like that. So yeah, it's definitely fucking cool.
he catalogs a lot of the bands that went down in flames too, you know what I mean? So people don't even know who they are anymore. you know?
Right.
Brian's brother is actually in the process right now of setting up a memorial benefit concert, you know, in Brian's memory. And we can't share any. It's all tentative at this point. You know,
Who knows?
We can't really
it could
share
be
any of the
2021 or
details with
2028.
you
Who
guys.
fucking knows?
But I'm telling you guys right now, you are gonna need a fucking diaper on when you find out who's gonna be playing this show, because the lineup is gonna
Yeah,
be
the
fucking
bands
killer.
that came forward and, you know,
Be killer.
to support are
You're gonna
we're
shit
seeing-
yourself. I'm telling you.
definitely.
I'm probably gonna shit myself too, honestly. might happen on stage, but hey, you know.
Hey.
Hey, extra, you know.
We
The
know
more
where
excited you come.
is.
See Chris shit himself, because it could happen. That's, nah, that'll be, yeah,
Then you
that'll
could,
be.
you could join another weird band like Pungent Stench or something, you know, another side
that
project.
shit we were listening to. The shit we were listening to on the way here. Jim's in the new fart core, or shit diarrhea core, or whatever the hell he was playing. Jesus Christ.
That shit was good, man.
Yeah,
Sounds like a frog singing. He's like, It's so fucking crazy, dude.
Oh,
What the
man.
hell's
Yeah.
that?
Sounds like frogs made it.
What?
Guttleax.
It's like,
Guttle axe?
Guttleax.
Guttle-axe.
Like shit, man. I was like, why?
Good.
That's heavy, dude, but
You know,
the
you
singer...
know, you know nothing about grindcore. I'm a hardcore
fucking
dude, so I'm
crazy.
trying to do like a hardcore
Yeah.
thing kind of with it. It's like all you gotta do is tell me.
Chris is putting
way too much
effort
Yeah.
into
It's sweet though.
Damn, dude. I was like, that's all I had to do. Fuck. Anyway.
All right, man.
Cool.
Thank all of you for
No,
coming.
thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us,
for having
man.
us. It was a good
It's been a
time.
long.
Next time you come, hopefully we'll
Have 50
it'll
more
be a real
people.
show with people like the last time.
Sounds like
50
a
more
plan.
people packed in here. Definitely, you got a cool thing going, dude.
Faces.
Definitely, man.
faces to melt.
Yes, definitely,
Yes,
man.
faces to know.
One thing, next time we gotta bring up a sewage grinder out of Cincinnati, man.
Hell yeah.
Next time, get to bring the Cincinnati sewage grinder up to,
Yeah, they're
to
pretty
Binghamton,
crushing.
man.
Oh yeah.
Those are our boys. They're fucking crazy, dude. Just guitar and drums and fucking melt your fucking face off and a jug full of whiskey to go around the crowd.
I don't
Oh
have
yeah.
a bass player?
No.
No?
He's
Really?
got a dual, like a pedal, like a mimic.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're awesome dudes,
Yeah.
and awesome. They're fucking awesome band, awesome dudes. We did a tour with them down to Texas and back, and yeah, those 2 weeks were definitely took a couple of years off my life, but it was totally worth it, man. Great dudes, good times, awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's definitely
All right.
All right.
cool, awesome.
We have reached the end of episode 10 of Live from Subterranea with Anthropic. Keep watching. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. To behold, Live from Subterranea.